Hello guys, it's me Stark and I'm here to make a analysis of the finals of the Sudden Death 2. The tournament has ended in this past weekend, so I'm here to analyze the finals. Spoiler alert, the finals take place between freaking Andy and Lewis, and I honestly was told that one of these two won the tournament. Oh, so that's the spoiler. They eliminated guys like Hart and Sorakuma in the semifinals, and other great players just fall off. The only two players that were actually missing here that people really likes to see were probably Hira and Leary. If I'm not mistaken, Viper played this. Anyway, I'm gonna check those infos and I'm gonna put the brackets and the tournament information, everything here on the description of the video. What I truly want to see now is the games, how did they play. Oh my goodness, really? A different version? Whatever, let's try and see how it goes. They played in a previous patch, it seems, huh? Interesting. Alright, so there we are. First map here, first game is between Persians and Japanese. I do not see any wall here. Isn't that supposed to be like a closed map tournament? Okay, it is. This map, guys, is called Triple Tunnel. This is very interesting, and I think that I already figured out why they are using such civilizations. On this map called Triple Tunnel, you can actually access your opponent's base on three different ways. There's this middle tunnel here that has like gold, stone, and two relics. There's the top tunnel that also has gold, stone, and two relics, and there's the bottom tunnel that also has the same resources here. They are very far away from each other, so this is kind of a BF game, but remember, this is a sudden death tournament, so my expectation here is that those guys will most likely these guys cannot build extra town centers, and they win by killing the enemy town center. There was another very important resource that I didn't mention, which was a boar. So Andy is already taking the boar home with the aid of his scout, and same thing is doing here Lewis. Both Persian and Japanese have bonuses that have great synergy for this kind of play, because in the back of every players here you can see a small pound, and this pound has a few shore fishes, at least 5 for each, and this means like 1,000 food, but don't mistake yourself. The true power of the pound is that the players can actually fish bone on it, so that's truly great. So I'm expecting here Andy to try and fish boom, because the Persian fish boom will actually allow him to produce fishing ships faster, since the docks from the Persian work faster, and the Japanese will also make a great fish boom for several reasons. First one, he received a discount here on the lumber camp. Second, his fishing ships have a better working rate. They all work 5, 10, 15, and even 20% faster along the ages, and they also have more HP, so even if your enemy axes your pound, they are actually gonna out survive a bit more. So it's in a very protected position. Your enemy actually has to take down your TC. Getting access to this area will need a astonishing amount of inefficiency on the defender's part here. Anyway, going back here, we can see Andy going for the Persian fishbone. Same thing is doing Lewis. So let's see how they are going to play. So far, they have similar economies, similar number of views, number of everything else. Andy already took 2 boards. There's this bottom board that he's not taking. There's a third board that's around here. Lewis has only taken like the first boar. Perhaps he's gonna send a villager to take this boar. So that's very interesting how they're playing, how they're doing it. Oh my goodness! When did this guy sneak this view? Unbelievable. I can't believe what my eyes see. And they just sneaked a villager, guys, to the pound of Lewis. I would never figure that out. So that's the first villager. He's going there, he's taking the boar, and he has a few villagers here on the food. He's taking the food, now he's taking the gold, and there he goes, sending a villager forward on the path of the middle. I can't believe I was distracted enough not to see that. Unbelievable what this guy's doing, man. Unbelievable. Great. So he's doing his own dock, but he's already sending a villager forward, and his goal here was to probably disrupt the fishing here from Lewis. He figured out where the town center was, so he just sent the villager around. He scouted the other side here with his own scout. Lewis, well, he was actually scouting the outside, and he only focusing on the economy, so he probably didn't solve that. Very great play, man. Great play, honestly. Way too much waste, way too much paths here for you to wall before you get raided, so great play by Andy. He did spot the enemy pound. He did spot the enemy fishing ship, so he knows that the dock is around there. So it seems that he's going for a hidden dock here that Lewis is not going to be able to see. Perfect play, huh? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So there's Lewis booming, expanding his economy, eating these small fishing ships. He's focusing here on take the boar, so he's doing a similar play that Andy did here with his scout and villager, except that perhaps Lewis is gonna lose a few more HP here on the Ville. Still, great job he's gonna take, but if you are focusing on this kind of task, it's nearly impossible that you are gonna be able to notice or even suspect such thing. And what astonishing me here from this game is that Andy has actually planned here this since the very beginning. He only has 3 fishing ships here on his base. He already has the dock here to try and do something. Honestly, I would say that it would be perfect for him to even invest into a second dock, because by the time Lewis see that, he will try to react by doing his own fire galleys. So yeah, there comes the second dock. It seems that he's going to place the villager outside. Oh no! Lewis is spotting that. Damn! This lumber camp is killing Andy's plan. Uh-oh, the villager. Oh my goodness, that was so bad, and Andy. You couldn't know that the guy was going for the lumber camp here, and he killed and he denied the second dock. That was totally end this game. But now that Lewis saw that, well, he actually has to take down the dock, and that's a Persian dock, so it will take quite a while. But it's impossible for Andy to win this fight, guys, and I will give you the reasons. If you did watch my video about fire galleys, you know that there are at least 2 techniques that Lewis can apply here. One, he can use the fishing ship to absorb the damage, and these are Japanese fishing ships, so he can pretty much use it for tank for a very long period of time. And second, he can repair his own fire galleys, while Andy, that just lost his view, has no access to that. So despite the efforts from Andy, and I honestly, this sneak was worth of a game, he won't be able to win. I think that the best thing that Andy can do here is to disrupt the fishing here from Lewis for long enough. If he even kill a fishing ship, I would be surprised, because as you can see, those fishing ships have extra armor, he's repairing with a view. So how to deal damage here? Once the first fire galley is born, there he goes. Lewis can already fight back, using these fishing ships as a shield, repairing. No! Very good move. I was desperate. Oh, demolition raft by Andy. Andy, the only technique that Andy can use here is hiding his boat behind the dock. So he's probably gonna fail that. And oh, God! I would never expect a fire galley battle here on this map, guys. Honestly, if Andy did manage to place his second dock and still had his villager alive, I would say that he had like great chances of making his plan work. Lewis, you are not hitting the enemy ship. You need a fire galley, man. Sorry, a demolition raft. Okay, good job. The problem here, guys, is that Andy, meanwhile, on his own base, is adding a second dock and dropping several fishing ships. The meaning of this is that Andy is gonna be more successful on the fish bone. He already has 9 fish, and at any time now, considering the amount of wood he has, he can start to do fish traps. As for Lewis, he still has to keep investing here and take down these boats. And honestly, Defender always has the advantage, and Persian are one of the most annoying civs to fully kill on the water, because he can keep his dock alive for a longer period of time, considering that he does have extra HP, and he can just drop like one single fire ship, demolition raft, single fire ship, demolition raft. Honestly, Andy could have invested a bit more and make this even more frustrating for Lewis. As you can see, Lewis is already using fish traps. Very difficult to see here. Maybe I need to change my mods here, but yeah, There we can see he's already using fish traps as the Japanese, so those fish traps actually deliver a lot of productivity. As you can see, Lewis is also already attacking here using a spearman, so he did drop a barracks early, and Andy and him are probably just going to rush here to see who's gonna be next to the castle age. Honestly, I like what Andy did. If it wasn't for the place of this lumber camp, he would have spotted the... Oh, really? Ah, he did took some of the... Did took something here. Okay, okay, okay. He did would have spotted the villager, and a 2 dock from Persians here with a villager walled. That could be a nightmare, and that could actually cost the game from Lewis. The only source of expanding your economy, since you cannot add new town centers, is fish booming. Therefore, this is very important. But guys, one interesting thing here is Lewis is going towards the next age. He's using several forage bushes. His Japanese fishing ships kept working, and they do work at a better rate. So despite having less fishing ships, only 8 at the moment, Lewis is clicking up to the next age. Perhaps he did use the market. He's also walling. Andy is also walling, and he has yet to click. He's about to drop the market, maybe buy some food and then click up, and meanwhile he's just doing more fishing ships. Alright, great game so far. A lot of concepts being used, concepts that I'm sharing with you guys on these videos. The techniques to fight with our galleys, the fish booming techniques that you can see on Rage Forest, and now you can see Andy going to try and wall the bottom here, while on the top Lewis is the one trying to wall here, using a view and spearman here to protect. He's rushing here to wall by doing a single tile. Those are stone walls, so they're probably going to live long enough to be made. Andy understands that and is just going for the walling. Meanwhile, on the other side, great play by Lewis and kills the villager from Andy that was coming here trying to wall. Those are unupgraded knights, so nothing that a few camels cannot solve. As you can see, Andy is now going for the gillnets in order to boost his economy, and he does have access to 19 fishing ships. As for Lewis, he's also doing a good job here. He has already 13 fishing ships, and he's trying to catch up the economy, and he's Japanese, so in a similar mode he will always have more resources here. Pretty good, pretty good. Camels do repel the enemy. Monks to start collecting the relics. Andy will have access to those 2 relics from the center. He does have a scout and a camel outposts, so it's very unlikely that Lewis is gonna win those 2. The wall from Lewis will give him access to the 2 relics from the top, and the 2 on the bottom, if Lewis does manage to wall, are gonna be his. So relics and fish are the more important resources here on the long run. Very interesting. And there comes the wall for Lewis, huh? Very aggressive one, and uh-oh. He's taking the relics, he has fully walled. Good job, my friend, good job. Uh-oh, he might actually lose a villager here to the monk. He has to try and convert it back, but the correct play here for Lewis is to delete the villager to deny Andy from converting it back. Once again, guys, I'm gonna emphasize that they cannot build more town centers. In a regular game here, both players would be actively aiming to increase their economy here by making extra town centers. All the villagers now have to go towards wood and gold, since the food is being taken here by the views. Bad dock placement, right, Mr. Andy? Perhaps you actually need like a transport ship to access this back area. I don't know if the villager can pass through this area, but you could actually place dock number 4 and even dock number 5 if you're interested in. Same for Lewis. But Lewis is already transitioning here into some kind of archer range play. Is he going to play Cave Archers? Maybe. Both players clicks to Imperial Age almost at the same time. This is very poetical. Great fish boom for Andy, 31 fishing ships already. Lewis also doing a good job with 22. A bit behind, but well, I don't judge him. He's not Persian, and he also got attacked. Oh, a castle. castle here for Lewis, and he's playing with the Cav Archers. I think that Cav Archers are very troublesome for the Persians to deal with, because Persians do lack Bracer, so they will actually have to play against the Cav Archers using like Knights, maybe Siege, but they have no Elite Skirmisher to counter those guys, and they cannot make Cav Archers that are as strong as these ones. Army composition might be an issue here for Andy. Lewis is going heavy for this gold on the top, gold on the bottom, belongs now to Andy, at least so far. He's attacking the university here from Andy. Trebuchets, cavalry archers, bombard cannons, cavaliers. So cavaliers, traps and cannons. Trap War looks better for Andy because he does have access to bombard cannon. Army composition looks better for Lewis because he has monks that can counter a small number of knights, and cav archers that have mobility and are very difficult to counter. He's even upgrading already Savar, guys. Crazy, huh? 61 views plus 38 fishing ships, and he's going for the Savar. Oh yeah, he did manage to reach out this area. Perhaps he should have made a dock there, walked back, made a second one, and then went back again. Anyway, it's up to him. He's on the finals, right? He knows. Lewis also has 4 docks. He's also already adding barracks, so he does realize that he's actually going to play against Savar. Is Lewis gonna be able to defend from this? There are no upgrades on his castle whatsoever. Andy is managing to get masonry. Uh-oh, these monks actually have access to redemption. So they can actually convert back the bombard cannons, and that's what Lewis does. Andy intended here to snipe the enemy bombard cannons, but it seems like Lewis is just not gonna give those guys to him. Pretty good. More bombard cannons, more trebuchets. Woo! There comes the monks again, trying to convert the bombard cannons. Great job for Lewis, huh? Great job. He's even going out for Kataparutu and also for Fervor. Fervor's gonna give the monks extra speed. They had 0.8, cannons have 0.7, so they can actually outrun the cannons. When the cannons start running to try to get out of the range from the monks, they're just not gonna be able to do that. That's crazy. Fervor is such a great technology. Back walls, huh? To avoid paladins or savars to going towards the economy or even towards the fish. Very smart. Losing your eco here is not as simple as on a regular game. You took like all the game to build it up and you only have one to see. If you lose like 20 villagers, it's gonna take you like more than 5 minutes to remake all of them. So yeah, you cannot afford losing views here to raids. There comes Andy, and oh my god, beautiful play. Onager here to cut open the trees. And Lewis is reacting, he's trying to make a tower, and oh my goodness, we did got out of sync here. Unbelievable. Let's restart this game on the correct version of the game. Alright guys, I'm back on the correct version, thanks Joneslow for all the work. Now that we see the end display, he's not managing to push through Lewis here. Lewis has a castle, Andy has a castle, neither of them are managing here to advance. There are monks here from Lewis, which makes everything way more difficult because he can convert the bombard cannons, he has Kataparuto trebuchets, so Andy does display of cutting off the wood using an onager and attacking here with his Savar on the top. The answer here from Lewis is push the middle. I mean, the bottom gold belongs to Lewis. The middle gold is the bottom gold belongs to Andy. The middle gold belongs to Andy. The top gold is about to belong as well to Andy. So he's doing a great job of controlling here the map, with of course a lot of effort. Keeping here the middle is such a terrible task, and now with 5 Kataparuto trebuchets and monks that can counter the cannons, he actually loses it. Lewis is walled here on the top, but there comes the onager, so Lewis should know that he is gonna be open, so he's already getting ready for that by sending some of his halps, making secondary walls here on the back, and buying more time with these other stone walls. terrible villager distribution, right? And honestly, instead of going for this kind of wall, he should have just completed the wall around the forest, because the onager is the issue and the forest is the weak spot. Despite everything, the Habs are fighting here, Lewis is advancing, and remember guys, this is sudden death. Everything Lewis has to do is to get a good mass of army, get the straps to attack the town center, and he's going to win. So far, Andy is doing quite some damage here with the Savar, but it seems like he's actually trapped there. There's nowhere for him to go. He'll have to try and break these houses somehow to be able to keep advancing. The onager is about to get taken by those halbs, so she's not gonna be of much help either. And the Savar are actually holding the ground here on the center. Double gold composition is the best thing that Andy can do, so hand cannoneers to counter the halberdiers, Savar to counter everything else. The problem is, it's a very costly army. He does need a constant influx of gold, and right now he's controlling 2 gold, has some relics, 4 versus 2 from Lewis, but the problem is Lewis has a very good army that doesn't require gold, which are the Japanese halberdiers. So basically all he has to do is to mass the Japanese halberdiers. Even his trebuchets can be used as a weapon. I think that the only thing, guys, that I'm missing here as a Lewis regarding an army composition are Yasama towers. This tool is great to seize map control. If he makes like 1 or 2 Yasama towers here on the center, it will make Andy's life very difficult. He will have to receive way too much damage in order to push those towers, because he's probably not going to be able to do that at a safe distance. So Yasama towers is the only thing that I feel like Lewis is missing, but even without them, he's doing a great job. Andy has a lot of fishing ships, but honestly, he could have even more. That's how I feel about it. He could have up to 60 fishing ships, and that could allow him to make even more army. He's messing up skirmishers now. I know his skirmishers do lack some upgrades, especially Bracer, but they can still take down or help to take down this infantry on the short distance, because they actually have a bonus versus halberdiers. That's a very good army composed of both Savar and skirmishers, but he's actually going to push Lewis back here. Is Lewis gonna do something? His population is also not so impressive. He only has 31 fishing ships. I honestly feel like both players could have gone for more fishing ships, but it's easier said than done, right? How do you just focus on a fish economy while you're actually having to micro even siege units here, which require like a lot of attention? So attention is the resource that's probably stopping those guys to expand their economy even more. Honestly, great job by Andy that is skipping more fishing ships here now, with almost 50 guys here on the foot. He's advancing. He's lacking trebuchets to keep pushing. Great walls. Will just deny a counterattack here on his gold. So right now, Andy is once again controlling the bottom gold, the top gold, and he's pushing the middle gold. So great job he's doing here, huh? I like a lot what he's doing. Onagers, bombard cannons, more Savar. He's doing the gold crown. What's this crown? Citadels. Oh, okay, Citadels is a gold crown from the Persians. It actually boosts a bit the attack from the castles. So taking down this castle is gonna be a bit more difficult. I don't know how much value this has, to be honest. And there comes Andy trying to push, but as I said, easier said than done. Look at the amount of halberdiers, man. It's insane. Oh, he did snipe some monk. The monks failed to convert, but honestly, Andy is going to have a lot of trouble here. I don't think he's going to be able to push through all these halbs with only these few skirmishers. The onager can be very helpful with some power shots, but honestly, that's an army that Lewis can easily replace. Yeah, this fight's not looking great for either. But it feels like a bit better for Lewis. Despite going back, he did manage to take down a lot of gold units. So while Lewis can just replace all of his trash units here, his front line with using only food and also wood, and he also has to spend a lot of gold to make more Savar. That's a good castle. It will actually help, especially now with the citadels. Now I can see some value from, to the upgrade. So Andy is doing a great job with the map control, but trebuchets are already getting ready to start shooting the castle. Only 3 right now, but they do have siege engineers, they do have kataparuto, so that's the ultimate Japanese siege weapon. The castle is on the hill and he has all the upgrades, so 7k resources here, but sorry, 7k HP, but even so, this doesn't look like so great for Lewis. That's probably the longest game we're about to see in the series, guys. That's the only map that has potential to take us to the Bureau Age. All the other maps, considering that players are going to use like only 1TC, are actually going to be much faster because they do not have so much potential to fish or anything like this. The push continues here from Lewis. He's not losing his trebuchets. He stopped targeting the castle and is actually targeting the trebuchets here from Andy. And okay, great snipe using a combination of halves and trebuchets to take down the other trebuchet. Now he's back to besieging Andy, and honestly the biggest thing that I can see is that he has constantly be healing his backline here using monks, and those are Kataparuto traps, and they are getting so much value. I think that better than those traps are probably only the Breton ones that actually do blast damage, so you can actually aim on this pack of skirmishers and take down like 15 units at one shot or crazy stuff like that. But apart from that, these are probably the best trap on the game, especially considering what they can do. You can actually argue that the Timurid Siegecraft's trebuchets from Tatars and maybe the better accuracy from Huns can be more useful, but so far I think that the Kataparuto are just the top ones. Okay, we just made a top 5 trebuchets in the middle of this match. Anyway, halberdiers, cavalry archers that never got fully upgraded. I'm truly missing the towers from Lewis, but as you can see, the stone is under Andy control everywhere, so he doesn't have more stone to go for the towers. I think that he actually needed to go for one of these stones, but now things are beginning to change because Lewis did invest a few more resources here, and now he has 60 units collecting food. He diversified his economy by also making some villagers here to the berries, some farms, so now he can keep like a constant production of halves. And that's so demanding here for Andy. Now he even has started to add some trash bows. The archers from Persians that can be made only using wood. Quite good, huh? Oh no, few Savars escaping. Now Lewis has finally resources for some stone. I wonder if he's going to use that for towers or for a castle, but honestly, gaining back this position is very good for him, and he's doing quite well without gold, guys, because he's already on a full trash composition. While the Persian, well, the Persian is now making a transition to Rusar, light cavalry actually, and he hasn't been able to push using all the gold. Honestly, this feels like this game is getting worse for Andy because there's no more gold here for him to take, no more gold on the bottom. He was playing with a double gold composition, so now he's actually going to lose a lot of firepower. While Andy, well, his gold units are monks and are on the backline, siege, and he's basically using elite skirmisher plus halves. So getting a civilization that plays better without gold looks a lot better for Lewis. So I don't think that these 4 relics for Andy can actually keep his production of any gold unit. I think that the best he can do with the gold from these relics is actually spamming siege to support his army. But the trash bows are actually having some success. There we see the first tower from Andy and started slowly to upgrade, and he's totally lacking, guys, elite skirmishers to take down these archers. Damn, what a game, what a game. This game is worth the tournament, honestly. I hope that the guy that wins this game wins the tournament because it's such a hard game. That's a great final, honestly. Okay, Andy goes for more castle, more army. Lewis is reacting to him. More towers now for Lewis. As I said, guys, these towers are great, and it will be very difficult for Andy to push. Honestly, if I were Andy, I would start considering taking down or cutting down here these wood lines here with Onager, because on the straight combat, it will be very difficult to push a guy that has the Yasama Towers and the Kataparu to trebuchets. This is the big Japanese composition that you need for the post-Imperial Age war. A full trash composed of both halberdiers and skirmishers, and since the gold is limited, you actually use it to make siege. There are a lot of villagers repairing, and he has like a lot of stone, but even having a lot of stone, he has no plan to take down those traps, guys. He's trying to go with Russars, but there are Yasama towers and also a lot of halberdiers. By the way, those are not yet Yasama towers, guys. They are still lacking the upgrade, I think. And there we go. Andy loses his castle. He immediately starts doing another one in the back. He's starting to think about runs. The Savars are not being able to do much. The push continues here for Lewis. I don't see how Andy can push the Japanese back. That's what I think. The Persians were great. The economy was great. Until, by the time he had gold, he was doing good, but good is not enough to push the guy. You need to have a win condition, and honestly, I'm not actually seeing the win condition here for Andy. I saw he was upgrading Caped Run, so perhaps he's planning to cut. Oh, there he comes. This is what he needs, guys, a cut. By cutting here with the Onager, he can actually try to go there and take down the enemy fish the tower. This is Yasama Tower, or at least it has arrow lists. That's a great tower here by Andy. They are almost fully upgraded here, so he does have a great tower. Andy is not pushing on the center. He failed to push here on the bottom. Lewis realized the threat and immediately defended. So no Savars to the core of his economy, guys. I think that's now a game for Lewis to keep pushing. He can still take some stone, add like tower numbers 4, 5, 6, and once he gets this area, all he needs is to trap the TC. Andy is trying to trap back, but that's a regular Persian trap versus Kataparuta trebuchets from the Japanese. Even the crossmen that seems to have some success here are eventually fading because they cannot go where the tower is. Right there, they are under the tower fire, so they're actually gonna go down. Great job here by Andy, honestly. It's like using a ship version of Arbalesters, huh? These guys actually only have like one less attack than a regular Arbalest. Actually 2 if you count that they do not have the bracer, but they still can do a very significant job. But they do get outranged by the enemy elite skirmisher and barely deal damage to the enemy elite skirmisher. An Arbalest would actually deal 2 damage to those fully upgraded skirmisher. These guys only deal like 1 damage, so skirmishers will most likely not gonna die to these guys. You actually need to close the distance and use your Russars to fight. Then this is becoming very, very troublesome. I do not see any more win conditions for Andy, guys. Lewis is pushing, he's advancing slowly, tower after tower. All he needs is 1, 2, 3 more towers and the game will be over. And he's not being able to push back. The trap wars are always great for Lewis. The Savars are about to be gone, and honestly, even with the Savar, Andy was not succeeding into pushing. Japanese is such a great civilization when well played, and I have to point that out. Lewis is doing an excellent use of all the Japanese weapons here. All of them. The Redemption Monks, Kataparuti trebuchets, Yasama Towers, such a master game, and he does take game number 1.